Leadership isn't complicated. It's all about simplicity. And if you focus on the fundamentals, then this'll get you to greatness. I'm going to share with you 5 key fundamentals to great leadership during this part of the training. And if you study and if you devote yourself to these 5 ideas, if you apply them in your life, then people are going to watch you and they're going to say, that's great leadership. Start getting curious, start getting excited about what you're discovering about yourself and about others. Everybody that you meet has got a story to tell and they've got lessons to share with you. Start studying leadership, start talking to people, because if you lose the conversation, then you'll lose the business. Now, do you know what the world's #1 fear is? It's public speaking. And the #2 fear is death. And the #3 fear is dying whilst public speaking. Yeah. A few years ago, I came across a Sanskrit poem and it got me thinking. It said, "Spring has passed, summer's gone, and winter is here. The song that I was meant to sing remains unsung, and I've spent my days stringing and unstringing my instrument." We all spend too much time busy being busy, don't we? Reading this actually took me back a few years to a time when I was definitely busy being busy. I was living an outwardly successful life. I had a powerful job, a nice house, plenty of money in the bank. And the thing was that I wasn't happy. I didn't have time to realise it, but I wasn't inwardly happy with how my life was turning out. And it was only when I stopped for a few days and took time to look around me that I realised that I wasn't singing the song that I was meant to sing. And I changed. I changed my lifestyle and I changed my job. I read and I read and I read. I set objectives, made plans, and now I'm realising that destiny that I laid out for myself. I'm grateful and happy that I actually managed to look up and look around me before my winter had arrived. And the thing was that I wasn't being authentic. I had a nice car, I had a nice suit, but I didn't like the person that I looked at in the mirror. And Warren Buffett said, "There'll never be a better you than you." And Jack Welch said, "Don't lose yourself on the way to the top." So true. I changed. I had a time of introspection, of reading, learning, and changing my values, and then I started feeling more comfortable in my own skin. And I'm still learning. I'm still getting better. Every day we've got a chance to improve ourselves and our lives, and it's about constant improvement. I've got my critics, don't we all? If you listen to your critics, you'll never do anything brilliant. They say that if you aren't being laughed at least every 7 days, then you aren't dreaming big enough. What we're talking about is a new model of leadership. The old model said, do what I say rather than being your own boss. And the new model is about listening, it's about relationships, it's about creating. And it's also about social responsibility and creating a workplace where it's safe to be human again, where people can develop their potential. People want to go to work somewhere where they can develop their leadership potential. And the new model puts people first. Nothing feels better than self-respect. Give people their self-respect back. And you know, it's a myth to keep doing what's made you successful to be successful. This implies that you stop innovating, and no! You grow the most when you push up against your comfort zone. Whenever you try something new, you set up a new neural pathway, and we're setting up new neural pathways in you during this training. Have you ever read a book that was really good and then for days afterwards and months even things kept popping into your mind from this book, reminding you of what you'd read. Realizations. I'm talking about taking a long-term view. This is about longevity, organisationally and personally. I'm a professional leadership thinker, a coach, and I'm also a professional disturber. Move beyond your comfort zone. T.S. Eliot said, "Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far they can go." So what's the start of leadership, do you think? Well, we've touched on this already. Could you consider that you had leadership capabilities as a child? What if you were actually a great leader when you were 5 years old? I've got a question for you to ponder. What would the child that you once were think of the adult that you've become? It's a good question, isn't it? Kids don't say, "Oh, I'm really not able to forgive my friends. I'm finding it difficult to move forward because I'm stuck in the past." They don't say these things, do they? If you put a dozen adults together in a room and leave them there for 15 minutes, then they're all going to be on the phone, they're all going to be texting and sending emails on their phones. If you leave a dozen children together for 15 minutes in a room, then they're going to make a load of new best friends. What if you already are everything that you dreamt of being? What if you already have all the traits of great leadership?